Hey, it's Rob. Welcome to Axel's Garage. We are on like video 3 with the braking system in this IROC. And previously we put a master on it, bled the brakes the old-fashioned way, and no pedal. Great stopping, but all the way down low, no pedal. So we took and got it up in the air, took all the wheels off, and we completely flushed out the braking system. No air, all new fluid, nice and clear. No difference really. Still the pedals very low. Robbie seems to think that that it came up just a little bit. I think it was we were getting used to it the more he was driving it every day, and he seems to got used to it a little bit. So talking to a couple of mechanics and a couple of technicians and just a couple of Camaro people. I checked the booster. The booster seems okay. You know, I unplugged it. It's got good vacuum. It's holding vacuum. I was kind of, you know, we checked all the calipers. They seem to be working. The pads are about halfway in their life cycle. So the best suggestion that I got from multiple people was that you might have gotten a bad master out of the box. Now I had ordered a new, not a rebuilt Robestus. I'll link it in the description below. It's MC 39575, made in Mexico. Okay. Came with direction sheet and a stop. New master cylinder, bench blade, prior to installation, one of those things, and an instruction sheet. Now the instruction sheet on the bottom has a number on it, and it's EWI 00411, and I'll show you right there. Hopefully that'll focus there. Right, that's the instruction sheet. So I said, you know what, I'm not going to go with another Robestus. That was about $55, $60. No, instead we went with $105. AC Delco new. AC Delco Professional new. So this one comes in, and I look in the box, same thing, directions exactly the same, and the number on the bottom of the directions, same thing, exactly the same. The master cylinders don't have markings on them in the casting. They do have an engraved number on the front of them, and this one right on the front of the master, it says 275-41BS, and on the new AC Delco it's 275-51BS, so it's off by one number there. I'm not making any accusations, but I think just like a lot of stuff in this world, it's all bullshit nowadays. They're the same units, same factory in Mexico, same everything. AC Delco is made in Mexico also. I'll link the AC Delco one in the description also. Buyer beware. You buy whichever one you think. I think they're the same. This one was 60. This one was 105. So I think they're the same. Now if the $105 one works, it was better than the $60 one, because the $60 one clearly didn't work. Well, we don't think it worked. Because from everything that we could tell, it's just, it can't be anything else. It's not leaking. All the hoses are in good shape. It's bled out. It's got fresh fluid in it. There's just no reason for it not to be working. So we went ahead and we bench bled the AC Delco unit, similar to how we bench bled the original one, and we just follow the directions as they're written on the insert. And I'll link that first video up here if you want to see the bench bleeding process. I did that an hour ago. Put the cap on it, and I got it sitting upright, and I'm going to get this off. So you have two 15mm nuts that are holding the master to the booster, and you have two 14mm lines which you use a flat nut wrench on, and you pull it off. So I'm going to try to pull it off, put it on, and you guys can follow along. So normally I would break the lines loose first, but I know these lines are going to come apart pretty easy because it's last week that they were put on, or 2 weeks ago. So I know I could just hold this back against the booster and crack these loose. Alright, so now that they're cracked loose, I can use a little wrench because it's easier to get in there. But you could use a regular wrench, you don't need a flare nut wrench. So what I'm going to try to do is spin these off and get the new one on with as little fluid loss as possible. This feels funny. So these two are off. Put my wrench down. There. This master off. This guy right behind the bracket. Now we got fluid in the master, nobody's pressing the pedal, so we should be okay with this fluid leaking out. Okay, just snug so that they're not dripping anymore. I'll tighten them down all the way with the flat nut wrench. Now I can get my nuts started. I'll grab a 15 millimeter. Just make sure that I'm snug, which I should be. Good. Wipe up any residual brake fluid. So that you know whether you're leaking or not, if you get all the stuff that dripped. Okay, and now if I had somebody here, which I don't am by myself today, I would try to give a little bleed to these lines right here at the master. And I will do that if I don't like the pedal, but it's not something that you always need to do. So normally speaking, I don't like just to throw parts at it when I don't know. But we knew the master was bad. The master went, there was fluid all over. The seals between the master and the reservoir blew. There was fluid everywhere. Needed to replace the floor. The pedal was still floor. So we knew the master was bad originally. We put a new master in, and it's not any better. So got to think that it's the master. Hopefully it is. Hopefully I'll start it up now and have a decent pedal. And I'm saying decent pedal because you can bleed it at the master, and sometimes you need to do that. So I'm going to start it up and see what happens. Hi.
Aren't you hot?
Can you sit in the car? Pump the brakes?
The car dirty?
No.
You were just in the car.
Yeah. All right, pump the brakes like 3 or 4 times. Good, now hold it down and don't let up. When it goes down, go down with it. Okay? All right, do it again. Huh? Where?
What's that for? Okay.
Really? All right, so I started it up, ran it, my foot on the brake, same pedal. It's not at the floor, but it's very low. The brakes are good, but the pedal's very low. Amanda came home. I bled it at the connections. No air came out, just fluid. Did it twice. Same thing. Cleaned off all my any dribbled brake juice with a little brake clean and a rag, and I don't know where to go from here. You know, short of starting to replace the brake pads now to see if it's just that long of a throw because of the brake pads have worn, but they're only down about half. They're all down about half. I don't know. I would have bet a leg, and I spoke to a bunch of guys that said it's got to be the master. There was one, and he's a technician. He's a diagnostic troubleshooter, retired, and he said that the four-wheel disc brake Camaros always had a low pedal. And I said, yeah, I understand that, but this feels too low. And I don't recall this car last year when we were driving it being that low. So he claims that it's okay. You just got to get used to it. That's the way the pedal is. I didn't think so. That's why I agreed with everybody else who said you probably got a bad master. It turns out both masters are doing exactly the same thing. We know the fluid's good. We know it's flushed out. There's no air in it. I can't think of anything at all. So that's it for this video. I'm gonna call it a fail, and if we eventually figure out what's going on with this braking problem, I'm sure we're not the only ones that have it. You got any comments? You got any ideas? You got any suggestions? Put it down in the comment section below, because I'm a little stuck now, and I've done a ton of Googling, a ton of YouTube videos I've watched, a ton of articles I read. I hit the forums, and I can't for the life of me figure out what it could be. That's it today from Axel's Garage. I'm a little disappointed, but as always, thanks for watching.